All right. Hi, my name is Travis Lindsay, and I'm here for the Center for Entrepreneurship at Cal State Fullerton to talk with David Ochi about our upcoming event, SoCal Celebrates Entrepreneurship. David, you're the director, or I'm sorry, the executive director of the Innovation Incubator at CSU Dominguez Hills. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself so that we can all get to know you a little bit?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Travis. And yes, I'm the executive director of the Innovation Incubator at Cal State Dominguez Hills. We're in Carson, California, and South LA area. So we're kind of at this interesting spot geographically, where we've got the ports nearby, and we've got all of Hollywood and the LA basin to partake of. So it's part of what makes this just being part of Southern California, being the thick of things, really is valuable. My background, real quick, I've been an entrepreneur basically my whole life. Started my first company when I was 13, and have been self-employed slash startup guy ever since. Probably the most notable thing someone would recognize that we were a part of, we helped launch Disney consumer products into Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. So that was a ton of fun. Got to move there and really experience a very different culture, a very exciting opportunity. It's very unusual, by the way, to launch a startup with a brand like Disney underneath you, right? Like that's usually have to build a brand. There we had 96% market recognition. So anyway, startup guy. Spent the last 10 years though in academia, working first at UCI and now here at Cal State Dominguez Hills on helping students launch companies.
Yeah, so ever since I started working at Cal State Fullerton a little over a decade ago at this point, consulting now, I've known you. You've been an integral part of the entrepreneurial landscape in the LA and Orange County area and globally as well. So, I mean, you were saying that you started becoming an entrepreneur when you were 13, so you've been doing it for like 20 years now. Uh,
Give or take a
Give or
decade
take.
or two.
Yeah, no. So, how do you see the overall entrepreneurial landscape of our area, the LA Orange County area?
Well, we're a hotbed, right? There's no doubt. Especially, I think my own 2 cents. I think COVID really cracked open a lot of the geographical barriers of entrepreneurship. There used to be some variation depending on which angel you talk to, but angel investors used to have like a 3-hour rule, right? If it was, and some called it 4, some called it 2, depending on whether or not they liked their car or not, right? They would say, hey, I'm not willing to invest in something that's more than 2 or 3 or 4 hours or whatever away from me. That I have seen a complete dissolution of, where people are really seriously looking at opportunities all over the country and all over the world. And that has diffused some of that power from the major epicenters like a Silicon Valley, and really opened it up. And Los Angeles and Southern California more broadly sits right in the middle of that kind of growth opportunity, right? Where we have tremendous amount of talent, huge industries, massive economic output, right? And so it's a natural place for entrepreneurship to blossom, and it's doing that. And I'm very happy to be here and a part of that kind of opportunity, because it really is something that can really change many people's lives. So we're very excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to add my 2 cents on into that, I mean, the cost of starting a startup has gone down dramatically with all the
Oh,
other tech advancements that have been going
infinitely.
on. Yeah. And I think that that's especially true in the LA Orange County area. And there's a lot of also talent in the area as well. And that's part of the reason why we started, SoCal Celebrates Entrepreneurship. Is to celebrate those entrepreneurs that are in our area and to also inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs. So, is that more or less why you guys all decided to join SoCal Celebrates Entrepreneurship? Or why did you join, David?
Well, I'll tell you the thing that drew me by far. I mean, the people involved are people I know and have worked with, and like yourself, right? And that I have a tremendous amount of respect for. Um, for me, though, the big word was the word celebrates. I think that is one of the most underappreciated things that in the entrepreneurial space. We are all about grit and hustle and grind and get in. I mean, we're proud to have organizations like Startup Grind. I mean, where is grind ever a good word other than in the coffee business, right? Like grind sounds horrible. Who wants to go through that? And yet the reason we have entrepreneurial events is not just to learn about how to pitch or to go get that investor to take a look at you or whatever. This is one that openly and outwardly says, let's celebrate what entrepreneurs are about. Let's celebrate the people around us. And it's not just the entrepreneur that hit the home run and is the unicorn and has made the $1 billion and goes up on the stage and we all clap for that person. That's wonderful. And we love that. And we have that here in Southern California, which is great. But it really is celebrating. And if I remember, there's multiple stages that are going to be celebrated. There's going to be panels that are focused around that early ideation and some of the things you can really celebrate when you don't have any revenue and you've only got 2 people even know about your idea and one of them doesn't like it, right? Like that stage deserves there's victories in that stage. It's not just the unicorns that have the victories. And so celebrating the phases that an entrepreneur goes through, that Orange County and LA County and Southern California generally have plenty of, being able to celebrate all of that is really what drew me in. It says, let's not just give another pitch day, give another harsh, here's how you learn to become a billionaire kind of thing, but instead say, let's bring in everybody and let's all celebrate each other and what we're doing and help and learn from each other. Let's use a celebration as a platform for growth rather than just the pitch or the fundraising or whatever as the platform for growth. So that was a very attractive and appealing kind of message for me.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, just reiterate one of the things that you said there. I mean, most of entrepreneurship is failure, right? I mean, it's just completely and totally, utterly failure. I mean, you're
I
working
have
80 hours a week.
mastered failure.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's kind of,
I'm really good at it.
no, I mean, that's kind of that's kind of the secret sauce of entrepreneurship, right? I mean, you've got to figure out what doesn't work, and the only way that you're really going to figure that out, I mean, yeah, you could read a lot, you could talk to a lot of other people and foresee some of that failure, but for a lot of it, you have to figure it out yourself because you're
Right.
creating something new. And so nobody knows what the right answer is until you actually go out there and, prove it's not the right answer. And
Exactly.
that's a lot of entrepreneurship. All right. So on that point, then who should attend this event, David? Is it just the people who should be celebrated? Is it the students that go to Cal State Fullerton and Dominguez Hills, or who?
So obviously students, this is a great opportunity, right? This is a chance to get in amongst hundreds of people that are in various stages of the entrepreneurial life or are related to entrepreneurship, investors, bankers, insurance people, service provider types. And um, there's a whole ecosystem out there, right, that's going to be in attendance. And so being in amongst that, though I call them the random collisions, those are going to happen, right? That student's going to meet that founder, and next thing you know, they're on the team. An investor is going to bump into somebody and realize they weren't really here to look for an investment, but that student really has potential. And you never know what's going to come out of those relationships. And that's really the purpose of going to events like this: is celebrate what's happening and see what opportunities can come out of it. So if you're a student, I think this is a great opportunity. A lot of times, I don't know what the rate's going to be for students, but I'm guessing it will be somewhere near zero, if not zero, to attend. But investors, local business people, really anybody who has an interest in how innovation or entrepreneurship is working in Southern California, maybe wants to find ways to tap into that. That's what this is for. And instead of it being a trade show kind of feel or just a pitch event, and who's the winner kind of thing, this is really a celebration of all the aspects of the entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Southern California. And that means we're going to see all the different elements coming together. And so it's a great way to get plugged in. And my challenge to anyone who does come is, how can you make the most of it by giving back to those people and seeing how by giving in to these people and helping them and leaning in on them and giving them some support, how will that come back and benefit you? And I think what you'll find is the more you give, the more you're going to get out of it. So it's a great mashing up of that opportunity for everyone to really do something amazing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, so one of our overarching goals with all this is to build out that ecosystem that you're talking about, because that really does determine to a great extent how successful new startups are. Because I mean, if they have a great idea, but they don't have the access to capital, or they don't have the access to the professionals that they need, or to the educational resources they need, that great idea is probably just going to die on the vine. So this is kind of one of our major strategic goals, initiatives for doing all this. So we're partnering up with a number of different Cal State University schools, Chapman, some UCs as well, along with some other entrepreneurial organizations. And just to put the cherry on top of what you were just saying right there, David, I mean, that whole networking aspect of it. So if you are somebody who wants to get into entrepreneurship, this is a great way to meet some of those people that maybe you're not going to read about them on Forbes or Wired or wherever, but they're an integral part of the entrepreneurial scene in Southern California. So this is a great place to meet them, a great place to really build those connections so that you can improve your odds of success going forward.
Absolutely.
So just in general, besides networking and getting really good at failing, what advice do you have for students or maybe just people who are thinking about becoming entrepreneurs but haven't done it yet?
Well, honestly, simply put, try it, right? Give it a shot. It will, you will be overwhelmed probably at some point, which is why you need to be in events like this. Because, when I'm overwhelmed as an entrepreneur, I turn to Travis, right? Like I'm going to call up Travis or someone like Travis and say, hey, Travis, I've been trying this thing. You told me about that client. I need somebody to lean on. And sometimes Travis will say, well, stop whining and go do it again. Right. But I need a Travis there. Right. And so, but the skills and the mindset of entrepreneurship are actually more important, especially for young people. The skills and the mindset are more important than the company and its results. And that sounds counterintuitive because we jump into entrepreneurship because it's like, I'm all about my big dream, my company, my vision, my idea is going to the moon. Well, forget the moon now, right? We're going to Mars, right? Like this is where we're going. This is amazing. But even if that doesn't work, if you don't get there, the mindset and skill set that you can gain by trying something, even if it's small, we encourage a lot of students, go start a little side hustle, try a micro enterprise, learn what an invoice is. Those skills and the mindset of an entrepreneur are hugely valuable to employers. And they're finally starting to figure that out. And they're realizing, especially early career people, where they're not going to turn to their 20 years of stellar service and sales or whatever. The early career people, it is a gold mine of opportunity to learn the mindset and skill set of innovation and entrepreneurship. And I guarantee your interview, when you get in there and you say, here's what I did, your interview will turn towards, well, tell me more about your startup, what you did. They don't care. They don't even expect you to succeed with it. But the interview going in that direction will change your interview completely. And all of a sudden you're getting an offer letter for something you didn't think you had a shot of because you demonstrated all the competencies that entrepreneurs need to have that you can't find anywhere else other than innovation and entrepreneurship. So try it. It'll pay off guaranteed down the road.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the other thing I'd add on to that is that for a lot of corporations, they've cut out a lot of the training that they used to provide. And so if they can hire somebody that is open and has had some success or at least some experience with just figuring stuff out, that's huge. That's huge.
Yep.
All right, David.
I totally agree.
That's all for me. Do you have anything else to add?
Just I encourage everyone, clear your calendar. It's going to be a great time. Travis, you can maybe share the date and the location and everything, but clear your calendar for it. It is going to be well worth it. I'm excited to be there. I know that I've got several people who are going to be a part of it that are really worth meeting, and I'm happy to make any kind of introductions along the way that might be valuable to you.
Awesome. Well, and yeah, it's March 9th, 2024 at the Titan Student Union at Cal State Fullerton. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. And David, thank you again.
Of course. Thank you for having me.